Hey, welcome back to Rookie Roost. So I keep on saying this channel is about the building of and life within an unfinished tiny house on wheels, but I haven't shown much of the life within, so here's a little taste. I'm cooking pizza for the first time here in the warehouse. It's not going that well. I think I was supposed to take out the tray. I made a right mess of that pizza. It was not cooked in the middle. It was... well, I put a hole in it. Anyways, if you're new here, I'm Sean, and this is Rookie Roost, and this channel just follows the day-to-day build and life within an unfinished tiny house on wheels. So today was a bit of a shopping day. I got a whole bunch of stuff behind me, all to do with the electrical system, mostly because I want to practice on some of that stuff before I get to the point where I'm sealing up walls and won't be able to change anything. A friend of mine also picked up some of these lights, these LED lights at Costco. They are a lot cheaper than the ones that I had bought, so I might take the ones that I bought back. But I'd really like to test them out if I could. 4 of them are going under the loft here, and I want to make sure that's going to be bright enough. I'm going to have them all on dimmer switches, so it's okay if they're really bright. I can always bring them down a bit. It's kind of weird, these don't have a ground, they just have 2 wires in them. Apparently that makes it compatible with older houses. So my plan to actually test all of them out is to run all of the wire like normal and then plug these into an extension cord, which I'm going to snip the end off of. They do sell cords without the end on it, but they didn't have any at Home Depot. They were all out of stock, so just bought one of these and cut the end off of it. I have no idea how this is all gonna go. I've never done anything like this before. General advice when watching this channel and pretty much anything on YouTube: if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't feel comfortable, just don't do it. A lot of stuff, not safe. And by no means am I a professional. So here we go. This feels wrong. But it's done. I suppose if I was smart I would have left that long so I could maybe use it for something someday. Or reattach it. But I guess I'm not smart. At some point I'll get the proper tool for this job. Okay, so what I've learned so far is that black is the hot, white is the neutral, and green is the ground. These lights don't have green, so I guess I won't be using this. I'm not really sure how these work. Looks like you just kind of plug the wire in, but I don't know. Really not too sure about that. It does not do what I thought it would do. Maybe I don't know how it works. I do have a little bit of experience stripping and twisting wires and stuff, because I've done a lot of work with audio and whatnot, and speaker wire is pretty much the same thing. You could probably use this as speaker wire. Okay, so black to black, white to white. Can't see what I'm doing down there. Just kind of grabs onto it in there, I guess. Hopefully those aren't too hard to pull out, because I don't want it in there permanently. But there it is. So now I know nothing about any of this, but I do know how to match up colors. And from what I understand now about looking into electricity as much as I have, essentially you could run everything off of just plugging it into the wall. The only difference between this and wiring the light in properly into the ceiling or into a wiring of the house or whatever is that it has to go through a breaker in order to access the power, and this just leads to a breaker, so it's the same thing. Again, I'm not a professional. Do not copy me. Okay, I'm gonna unplug the light above me, and I'm gonna plug this into the other extension cord I have here, and holy crap, it works. I have a glowing orb in my hand. That is quite bright, actually. Should probably watch where I put my hand, don't want to hit those wires. It's a yellow light. Fairly warm, much warmer than these other lights. I'm gonna turn off all the lights and see what it looks like. Alright, so it's kind of like having a single light bulb, because, well, it is a single light bulb. I mean, if you only had one light bulb in the room, this is probably what you'd expect. But this is brighter than the smaller one that I was going to put in. Now, I'm only putting 4 into the loft. I don't know if 4 of these is really gonna do it. But there is only one way for me to find out, and that is to wire them all up, mount them up temporarily somehow, and see how it looks. Which means my next step is to run all the wires and actually attach them to all these lights, and then do my little plug trick in the first light so it hits all of them, and then plug it in. I'm pleased to see that this works. Like, it's not a very complicated thing, but a week ago, I had no idea you could just plug an extension cord into a pot light. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. I probably don't have the time to finish it right now, but we'll see how far I get. I'm excited to conduct this experiment. So for the lighting down here, I'm gonna be using this 14-3 wire. And so it has 3 wires instead of 2, like the regular stuff for the outlets, because it is going to be a 3-way switch, so to be able to be turned on from over here inside the living room, and turned on or off from over by the door. So this goes from, I'm just gonna give you this light switch right there. Run up the wall. Oh, that's annoying. I'm gonna drill that hole later though, because these, I don't know if you can see this, but this is a 2x2 that we put up to hold the ceiling. These new lights that I got had the junction box actually built onto them, unlike the original lights that I bought. And they need about 60 millimeters, which is about 2.5 inches above the back of the light. Something like that. A 2x3 will work. So I'm gonna have to replace all these 2x2s with 2x3s for these lights. So I'm not gonna drill through that. I'm just gonna kind of give myself plenty of extra and run the length along. Obviously I'm not going to hammer them all the way down right now because I will be taking them out. This is just for science. Where are my science pliers? Alright, so all the wire is up for the lights. All I need to do now is strip it all back and then figure out how to hold the lights up there while I test this all. Okay, I've got it all wired up, so here's what I did. First I've got the extension cord, which is just going to plug in right there. That wires up into this. The ground and the red aren't being used right now. The ground doesn't get used at all in these lights. And so that goes up. It will be what's in the switch once I do it all permanently. But for now, it just goes up and it connects to this light here. And that also comes off on this cable and runs to this light here. That comes off of there, runs down through the wall, and up into this light here, which then connects to that light there. So each of these lights is 500 lumens. They're apparently equivalent to about a 50-watt bulb. So individually, not very bright. I've got 4 down here, 2 on this side of the loft, 2 on that side of the loft. So hopefully this will be good. Here comes the test. I'm gonna turn all the lights off, and I'll leave that light on for a second. And hopefully we don't see any sparks or fires. There it is. I would say I am pretty well lit. I'm gonna turn off the other light. So these are considered a warm light. They're 2700K, that's what they're rated at. 2700K, 40,000 hours, 500 lumens. 8.5 watts replaces a 50-watt bulb. It said they last 3 years, which is kind of weird. It means you have to actually replace the fixture after they burn out. So I'm thinking it would be good to leave a lot of wire in the ceiling that you can pull down through the ceiling so that you can mess around to get a new fixture in there. And I'm hoping these will be available for a very long time so that I can replace it with the same kind of light. Or maybe you can just replace the LEDs themselves. I'm not really sure how that all works, but something to find out. I'm pretty happy with how well lit this is down here. I knew I didn't want a super harsh white light. I always found that kind of unnatural indoors, maybe just because I grew up with regular incandescent bulbs. It is weird seeing the house lit with a yellow light after seeing it lit with my bright white shop lights for so long. But I think this is good. The walls are probably going to be mostly white or close to it. And right now everything is just simply wood colored, so it's giving even more of that warm glow. Overall, pleased. I think I'm going to keep these lights. These lights are $15 each. The other lights I had bought were $37 each. It's quite a difference in price, so I'm happy to go with these cheaper lights. These other lights were actually rated for fewer hours too, 35,000 hours rather than 40,000. Whether or not that's actually accurate, you know, who knows. But yeah, test successful, so now I get to take all these lights down. I'm nicely lit every direction I turn. I mean, these aren't positioned perfectly yet, but I think it's good. So I've been spending a little bit of time getting the wires a little tidied up and getting the bathroom kind of close to the shape it's actually going to stay in. The shower is now up on its proper stand. It has a proper piece of plywood underneath of it, and I've been clipping wires to the framing to keep them nice and tight. I've also been stripping the outer jacket on a few of them, getting them trimmed down, getting them clipped up, and put through some of the boxes. I haven't done very much of that yet though. If you follow along on Patreon, you would have seen that I got the bathroom fan working. I did my little trick with the extension cord and plugged it in just to see how it would work. And then Jackie came by yesterday and helped me do something that was a little unexpected. We put in a bit of the ceiling. So she helped me put in the vapor barrier, and then it was a real pain in the ass to get the 2 sheets of plywood up there. That's 1/4-inch pine plywood, still has to be painted and everything. The first piece was the bigger pain. The second piece, we actually figured out how to make things a little easier on ourselves. But it is super nice to be able to go up there and not hit your head on insulation, so that's why we've just done those 2 pieces. Ran out of time, but we'll probably get to the rest of it sometime during this week. And I'll film that process a little closer up and get some commentary as we go. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to like or dislike, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new, and check the links in the description below for things like the Patreon page and the website and anything else that might be relevant. At the time of recording this is the start of a week that's going to be a bit of a special one, and I'll fill you in with those details on the next video. See you then.